Okay, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about aliens, the concept of other life forms, and some of the things that I think human beings often get a little bit confused in terms of this topic. First of all, the term alien always brings up this image of these little green men or these gray, kind of funny alien life forms. And I'm not going to say whether or not different life forms actually look like that or don't. It's not really going to be part of this video. But one thing that I really want to talk about in terms of this specific topic is, first of all, the term alien. We get this really strange kind of image in our heads that whatever is alien to us is going to be, creepy or out to harm us or completely different than humans in, so many different ways, right? And then again, we start to think of it as, or we imagine that aliens would want to do experiments on us or, take us off the planet with their ships. And often I don't think it's much that way at all. I think when other forms of consciousness decide to incarnate on planet Earth, they have to take up a body that is suited for this environment. The other thing to understand is that the universal laws are the universal laws. They aren't really going to change in terms of the way that material craft or what we think of as technology, it's not going to change depending on whether you are a life form from another planet. And I want to just kind of delve into this a little bit more. A lot of whether or not a particular type of consciousness is going to come to planet Earth has more to do with what the planet needs in terms of its learning, where it is in terms of its conceptualization. So in terms of the free will system, what can any and all life forms currently handle in terms of wisdom or the energy of light and love? Because essentially teachers or other worldly beings, they could come here and try to teach humanity something, but if the lower lessons or the fundamentals haven't even been learned, it's not purposeful. And at higher stages of consciousness, the beings don't or are not interested essentially in wasting their time. Now, again, at higher levels of understanding, of wisdom, of existence, time also doesn't act or exist the same way we experience it here on planet Earth in this linear type fashion, okay? And that has a lot to do with, again, the frequency, the particular dimension of that reality, and the level at which the individual's consciousness is calibrated to. So first of all, this question of, would alien life be bringing ships or bringing technology to Earth the way that we understand it? No, absolutely they wouldn't, because it's not possible with the type of technology that we utilize. Now, again, in terms of consciousness, in terms of higher levels of dimensionality, okay, there is the ability to become physical or to manifest oneself into a more physical structure and then de-manifest. So go into the non-physical aspects of consciousness, which is still, when we are residing in the non-physical, our consciousness is very, very much aware. And so understanding that we travel We travel via our conscious thought based on the enactment of our will. When we have purified our aura, or what we are, our mind, body, spirit complex enough, this is a possibility that is opened up to any being that, again, is at these higher levels of consciousness. And there are times when light beings, angelic beings, teachers, from other areas of creation will send their consciousness into human form or to planet Earth to help raise the collective consciousness. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. There have definitely been times throughout history where the results, again, due to the population not having a deep enough understanding of unconditional love, meaning that the collective consciousness was calibrating in these lower states of awareness, namely fear-based levels of awareness. And when there is a high degree of these low vibrational energies, teaching any lessons often are futile, and really the disturbance of higher beings coming to planet Earth, it will actually oftentimes create more chaos. Again, due to the fact that higher level beings cannot infringe on the free will of human beings, of actually any beings, okay? And what I mean by saying this is that, let's say there is a certain teaching or a certain aspect of wisdom that is given, that because it is understood incorrectly through the lower centers or through a lens of fear, and due to this teaching being given before the collective consciousness is ready, it could potentially cause war, it could cause destruction in terms of attack between peoples. And when this happens, again, that's not the goal of any teacher or any being incarnating on Earth. It tends to create a dynamic where most beings at a higher consciousness have caution. They stay away from the bubble of Earth until there's essentially a tipping point when the acclimation or the integration of new knowledge will not harm or cause destruction. The hearts and minds of the collective human family have to be at a level of openness to be able to integrate or even reintegrate old lessons through the corrected lens, the undistorted lens of unconditional love. And the best way to look at any teaching, any esoteric teaching, any book, any element of wisdom that has been given to people here on planet Earth, the only correct way to question it is, are any, or if we look at any isolated aspect of it, is the story, is the parable, is the teaching unconditional love? Is it teaching protection of all life? Is it teaching sacred principles? And are those elements the message that we are now reading? And if the message that we are now reading is in any way layered with an element of division, an element of attack for others that don't believe or don't, any of these type of elements that have been layered onto these teachings, those have been put there again by human beings. These things are not in alignment with unconditional loving energy. So they're not in alignment with that high vibrational light love element of a very divine or a high level conscious thought. So again, I've jumped around a little bit in this video in terms of talking about other life forms, talking about the purpose of why other life forms would come to planet Earth. But essentially, it's to open your mind to some of these ideas. I don't want to ramble on and on in this video, and I'm a little bit tired, so sometimes I'm a little bit more high energy and the thoughts come or the words come a little bit easier. But I had a little bit of time tonight, and I have not been doing as many videos as I was hoping to do this month. So I wanted to still take the time to, get a little bit of this wisdom and knowledge onto camera before my girlfriends showed up for a wine night tonight. So again, have a beautiful weekend, and I will see you in the next video.